The opinions voiced in this podcast are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be suitable for you, consult the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a decision. Today's guest and their company are not affiliated with or endorsed by LPL Financial. All right, so thanks for doing this. Do you mind introducing yourselves and kind of telling us a little bit about your credentials?
Yeah. My name is Cesar Rodriguez, and I've been doing jiu-jitsu for about 18, 19 years. And did MMA, did some boxing, some other stuff before that. And now just got old, just do jiu-jitsu and teach. So that's it for me.
I'm Emilio Sanchez. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for about 18 years as well. I got started in Taekwondo when I was 8 years old up until I was 10 or 18, I'm sorry, up until I was 18. And then started boxing. Got into MMA as well when I lived in Odessa, and then moved back here and got into jiu-jitsu and just kept on going with jiu-jitsu.
So what is it that kind of drew you, if you guys have tried different sports, if you tried different kind of areas of combat fighting, things like that, why jiu-jitsu? Why has it kind of kept you?
So when I was younger, I tried football and stuff, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the part of getting hit and not being able to hit back. So I really didn't like it, and my mom, she was just like, if you're not gonna do any other sport, we have to get you into something. I saw at that time, I believe it was probably like the Karate Kid Part 3 or whatever, and I was like, I want to do that. So we found
You wanted to
Taekwondo
clean
spot.
some cars.
Yeah, I wanted to clean some cars, paint some, paint some, fences. But now we found a Taekwondo place here in town and stuff, and just got into that, and then I kind of got stagnant with it and stuff. So my, I went and moved. I got into boxing here and everything, and it was boxing was good. It was fun, but I was so used to kicking and stuff. So when I lived in Odessa, I met a kickboxer out there named Maurice Jackson, and he was getting ready for his first MMA fight. And he asked me if he saw me working out in the gym. He saw me shadow boxing and stuff. Asked me if I knew some stuff, and I told him, yeah, a little bit. Asked me if I would hold pads for him, and that's how I got into MMA and everything.
Wow.
And stuff. So, yeah. And then I got into jiu-jitsu. We actually trained at the same jiu-jitsu spot and stuff. And Caesar stuck with it longer than what I have. I was out, off and on, started having kids and stuff, so just taking care of the family and everything, and then I would go back to training and stuff, and probably around when I got my purple belt is when I actually stuck with it and stuff. I fell back in love with the sport, and I couldn't fight no more and everything, so just decided just to stick with jiu-jitsu and training and stuff. So
cool.
All right, so I sucked at every sport I ever played. Not good at football, not good at basketball. Don't ask me why I even tried basketball. I'm like 5'4". So saw the first I was doing boxing, and then I saw the first season of The Ultimate Fighter.
Okay.
And I was like, that looks way more funner.
Yeah.
And so found a spot in Midland under a guy named Brad Barnes. That was my first MMA coach. Went out there. For some reason, he wanted to spar. Now, Brad's not a small guy. Brad was like 200 something pounds or like that. He was a big dude. I'm the same weight I've been since high school, 135 pounds. We spar. He kicks my leg where I can't even stand right, and then pops me in the face with a leg kick. And he's like, "See you next weekend." And I was like, "All right." And so driving back from Midland in there, and then a couple years later, like I said, we trained at the same spot. My second coach, Jeremy Henderson, opened up Red Star MMA, and just started training with him. And we did a lot of no-gi and wrestling, of course, since we were more MMA based back then. And then we, a couple years later, put the gi on, and I really didn't like the gi too much. Of course, I was young, so I could scramble and everything a lot quicker. My bones worked right, everything was good. But older now, I prefer the gi. So
Gotcha.
yeah, that's for me.
So how would you say those kind of early mentors maybe shaped you, or just kind of like things that you learned from them?
Well, with going out to Midland with Brad, like the first move I learned was like an arm bar from like a mount. And I don't know how to even get to mount at that time. He just like start here and go here. So I was like, oh, okay. But really just learning like how a smaller guy from him, like a smaller guy can't control a bigger person. And then with Jeremy, it was just refining technique because Jeremy was a great teacher. My second coach, Jeremy, I give it to him. He was a great teacher at teaching technique, all the small little details, and that helped me a lot as well, especially for now with teaching. Like when I first started doing it, I would just be like, all right, this is how you do the move, guys. And then when someone couldn't get, I'd be like, why can't you do this move? It's so easy. Like to me, it's so easy, but having to explain and really make sure, like giving every little detail to somebody, and going back to him really helps, like with everything. So like he did teach me a lot on that, just being able to explain and make sure that like people can get what they're doing and everything. So
Makes sense.
No, yeah, like what Caesar was saying, Coach Jeremy, he was a real good coach. He's real technical, really, really technical coach. And he would go over like the fine details of a move. And I think that's what some of the stuff like that I coach today, some of the ways how I coach is kind of like the way he would coach us. He would kind of like dumbify it down for us. So sometimes we had to dumbify moves down and stuff for other people or for kids, just to get on their level. We have to bring it down some. We can't be so like technical, so we have to bring it down, in layman's terms and stuff. So
for sure.
But yeah.
Okay. So kind of changing over a little bit to business and specifically just kind of jiu-jitsu as a business. You've seen a lot of different currents with jiu-jitsu and the way that it's kind of been changing.
Yeah.
How would you say you've noticed it changing maybe the last 5-10 years, ways that you've seen maybe it's gotten more popular?
Yeah.
Or how?
Yeah. So I feel like here in Abilene, it's like barely starting to pick up to get a little bit more popular. And I think that's because of some of the local shows that they've been able to put on here and stuff like that. We had the Toys for Tots this weekend and stuff. But, some of the other places and stuff that they've put on shows here, jiu-jitsu tournaments and stuff. And it brings people out, to come and watch it. And kids see it and they want to do it. Of course, Cobra Kai, that's helped out a lot with jiu-jitsu. Everybody thinks, it's like, it's kicking and stuff. We've had signups before where kids are saying, are we going to be kicking and stuff? And I'm like, no, not really kicking, but we'll show you how to defend a kick, and take somebody down and stuff to where you can control them. But yeah, I think just stuff like that, kind of like mainstream. It's out there more now, especially like on Facebook, Instagram, and stuff like that. YouTube, like there's so many organizations that are putting on shows like jiu-jitsu matches, like pretty much every weekend and stuff, and it'll pop up on the algorithm on online and stuff, and people see it and they're like, hey, I want to do that. And word of mouth, like somebody is doing this. I mean, in their 40s is, they're probably talking about it like at the water cooler and stuff with one of their friends, and somebody hears about it and they ask them like, hey, what do you train at? What do you do? And, they let them know, and then people come and want to try it out and stuff. So.
It has, like I said, it has blown up a lot. I remember when we first started training, like like a tournament would be every couple months, and it'd be 3 weight classes. Like, now you can go to a tournament every weekend in Dallas, Austin. There's tournaments everywhere. Accessibility too. A lot of the young ones coming up don't know how lucky they are to be able to YouTube anything they want and find it. I had to look through books. And I still have
like
a couple of books.
Like a line diagram.
I do. I have a Marcelo Garcia X-Guard book. And to go from one picture to the other and be like, well, how did he go from that to that between these 2 photos? Like, it's not like now where you can just go online and you'll have a whole, like,
the whole breakdown.
A professional black belt teaching you how he does everything. I think that's helped a lot too. Also with getting it out there, people posting their videos online, matches, IBJJF, stuff like that. Because like I said, way back, it was just, he had 3 weight classes. It wasn't at like the arenas. Like now we get to go to nice like colleges and, all these really nice facilities. It used to be at someone's gym.
Yeah.
Really? And it would be, 100 people in a gym that couldn't probably hold more than 50 or 25 people.
Gosh.
And we're just walking around, and it'd be an all day thing. We'd be there until 5 or 6 o'clock at night. Waiting for our like last competitor to go. So
they were fun days.
Yeah, there were some fun days. There were some fun days.
Sure.
Some long days. So it really makes you like now appreciate it. It really does, because you're like, man, how like these kids have, especially now, like the littler kids can now go against other kids and stuff like that. Because there wasn't many you didn't go to many tournaments where there was a lot of like kids brackets like that.
Yeah.
It was still growing. People were wondering what it was, stuff like that. Everyone was like, no, it's not Taekwondo or karate.
Right.
So, but I think that's helped a lot as well.
Yeah. It seemed like it's also way more in pop culture. So like you kind of like mentioned like the wave that Cobra Kai kind of started, but also
John Wick.
You have John Wick, you have Jocko and Joe Rogan constantly in people's ears talking about it
and everything. So.
And now Ashton Kutcher got his black belt. So I mean, really, it's that might be the biggest culture moment yet. But it's just kind of those things like that. What do you think brings people kind of at that level or in those kind of like worlds? What do you think brings them to jiu-jitsu?
Man, I think just truthfully the gi, the style, the stylish of the gi.
It must be it. No, we all want to look like we're doing karate when we're not.
Yeah. You get to wear the karate.
Yeah.
Really, I think it's just how, like, everything to it. Like, for most people, it's, like, everyone always says it's like chess, And I've never played chess, but I've done, like, video games, Mortal Kombat, stuff like that, and it's close. This is like the realest thing to like a real like video game that you can play, and it's always like changing. You're never gonna have like the same role every time. You're always with so many different people. The rounds are always different, and it's just like I said, it's just really fun.
Like what he was saying, like people feel like it's like chess and stuff, and like he was saying too, like the rounds, they're not always going to be the same and stuff. Like you can roll with somebody one day and then roll with them the next day, and that round's going to be totally different than the day before. But yeah, man, I truthfully, like, I think it's just what brings people in is like them wanting to learn self-defense, and that's just because the way things are going now. Sad to say, but like the way the world is being and stuff like that, people have to be more on their toes and being able to protect themselves and stuff like that. So
sure.
I think that's pretty much what it is. It brings people in and everything. They want to have that comfortable feeling of, hey, I know I can walk to my car from my house or from my building at work to my car and not really worry having to look over my shoulder, if I'm gonna get robbed or something like that and stuff. So
what do you think is kind of the other benefits that kind of come from jiu-jitsu that kind of keep people there? So aside for like maybe they do feel safer, forces could be one. What other kind of benefits have you kind of seen that other people maybe?
Really, man, like I'd like to say health. People see a change in their health a lot.
Because they have a lot more knee sleeves.
Yeah. Have a lot more knee sleeves, shoulder sleeves, and stuff like that. No, like truthfully, like you can, they're with their health, their weight. It's really easy to lose weight doing jujitsu, especially if you go like 3 times a week. And just the the body movements. There's muscle memory there. The mechanics of you being able to use your body and your muscles that you didn't even think you have. We've had like D1 athletes come in and they think they're in shape and stuff, and they do one class and they're like, man, like that's tiring. And I mean, truthfully, it is because you're using your whole body, and not just your body. Like when you're in around, like you're using your mind a lot, like because you're trying to think of, hey, where do I need to go from here? If he goes here, where do I need to go to counter it and stuff? So it's just like you get tired mentally, physically, and stuff like that. But in the long run, it's going to help you out health wise and stuff. And also like the camaraderie, like at our gym, we're a family based gym, and that's the way we try and make everybody feel like they're part of one big family and stuff. And that's one of our biggest things, is that's what we wanted to make our gym be, is a family based gym and all that. So everybody there, their family. Like when we have our ceremonies and stuff like that, we have a big potluck to where it's like a big barbecue or a big picnic and stuff like that. So, I think that's one good thing about it.
I would think, especially for like kids, like building that confidence in them. Like my nephew Fabian started when he was around like 11 or 12. And you wouldn't think about it if you saw him now, but he was the shyest kid ever. Like when I first took him up to the gym, he wouldn't even tell people his name. He'd just go up to people and be like, I'm Caesar's nephew. And that's how he would introduce himself to people. I swear. Now, like, you couldn't even.
He's probably trying to say, be nice to me.
Yeah.
Please don't.
No, yeah. But, I mean, and also, like, when we would drill, he'd be like, can I drill with you? I'm like, no, I'm teaching. You have to drill with, like, other people. But now, like, from the years he's done it to now, he's, like, almost, like, 17. He's talkative. He you just saw the growth in him. And I see that even with our kids program. You'll see kids that never talked, and like Griffin.
Yeah, sorry.
I remember Griffin never would talk. And now every 5 minutes he's raising his hand, he's talking, the confidence, and like I'm just like so happy to see that he's gotten comfortable coming and hanging around and being able to talk with us and everything. That's always a big thing, truthfully, is seeing the kids just grow from it.
Yeah, our kind of like at-home progress report was like a month in, he had a complete personality change.
Yeah, I believe it.
I mean, it wasn't just like that. It was like even like he just started cleaning his room. Like it was like this like weird discipline thing started differently too, and like things that I completely didn't expect. I just wanted to get him into something he was not interested in trying a ball sport. He did not want to go play soccer. He didn't want to play basketball. I was like, okay, let's go ahead and try this out. And within a month, it was like, this is cooking different things than I thought it was going to. So it's been really awesome to see. But no, he's chatty too. So that's thanks again for that. But for people that have never gotten into a gym, they've never tried anything like this, what do you kind of think will kind of bring them in, or what do you hope that they'll come in with, I guess?
I think for most people, and this is like for me too, the first time I ever went to Red Star, I parked outside and just sat there. And I was like, I don't know if I should go in. And I went home. Like I went home. I got home, and it was my mom, and she was like, did they have They didn't have a class today? I was like, no, they had one. I was too nervous. I didn't want to go in. And she told me to get back in the car, go. And so I went back, and I sat. I was just like, oh man. So I slowly get out. I go in. Jeremy and everyone that was there. I introduced myself and everything, and just started, working in with technique. But I think the biggest thing is everyone's just nervous. They don't know how people are going to be and everything. And I haven't been to one like jiu-jitsu gym yet where people have been like rude. Yeah. It is one of the most, like, people in a jiu-jitsu gym are some of the just chillest people you'll ever meet. They're there because they just worked an 8-hour shift and they're just there to kind of relax decompress and not think about anything else. They want to just go technique, get a couple of rolls in, and then go back home after that. And I think that's what scares a lot of people. They think they're gonna go into they see the fighting and everything. Oh, these are gonna be some muscle heads just want to hurt me. No, we got moms, dads, firefighters, police officers, college kids, and everyone's just there to have a good time and learn and get some camaraderie with some different people and everything like that. So
yeah, so I think one thing that brings people in is, like I said earlier, about the whole self-defense thing. I know when I've signed a few people up, I've asked them, it's one of my main questions, hey, what made you want to decide to try jiu-jitsu? And either they'll tell me a story or they're like, I just want to feel like just looking up self-defense online and your school popped up. So we decided just to try it and see. In their first class that they try, they love it. They just the atmosphere in itself is good and everything. And that's just one thing that keeps them there.
Yeah. So with your gym, is that something that you guys have had to intentionally focus on kind of building a culture around that just kind of, like you said earlier, kind of keeping it more family based, keep it where people can feel like they're part of a big group? I know you guys are Killer Bee, you talk about the hive all the time. Yeah. Is that one of the ways that you've initiated that kind of culture?
Yeah. Truthfully, we were just hoping for just a competitor gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're we just want people that just want to compete. That's it. And then once we opened up, we had a good amount of people already coming with us from a previous spot, and a lot of them weren't competitors. A lot of them were just moms and dads and people that had their kids in it. And so we had to change that up a little bit, which I don't regret. I'm really happy we did switch from that model of just being a competitor gym to more of a family base, because I just feel right now that everyone we have in that gym, all our students, everybody is just really positive, willing to help. We get new people in all the time, and we have a lot of more seasoned base grapplers. And everyone's willing to help, answer questions, roll. I'll see a white belt and I'll be like, hey, go roll with that blue belt, purple belt. And, I just tell them, hey, help them out. And they're rolling light, helping them, telling them where to go from that position to this. And I just feel that at our spot, in our gym, that does help a lot with the camaraderie. People feel I'm just not there to get beat up on. They're actually trying to help me and make me part of the team and, make me better.
Yeah, just going off of that, yesterday, we had open mat last night, and I didn't roll last night, but just sitting back and watching the mats be full, with everybody just rolling and laughing and trying to not really take each other out, but it's kind of like a chess game. They're people that are rolling, and of course I'm sitting on the sidelines instigating stuff and stuff and rounds and stuff. But yeah, you gotta talk a little trash and stuff, especially with the higher belts. But then seeing people go off of that, and they're and then seeing the white belts, they see how the brown belts and black belts act and stuff, and they're oh, they're black belts and stuff, but they're not so
not serious.
Yeah,
they're
not
not taking it so seriously.
Yeah, they're not taking it serious, but they are taking it serious as a point it's something that you need to learn and learn right. But they're not well, you need to learn this, and then going to our back room where we had our women's class, and seeing that mat just full of moms and, sisters, college students, just trying to get better and stuff. And that's one of the real big things too is, our women's class that we have that's led by Coach Sam. She does a real good job with them and empowering those women that didn't think they had that, they didn't think they had that empowerment in them and stuff. And now they feel like, they're empowered and everything, which is, it's really good to see and stuff. And, it's just a good feeling to have, that, hey, it's not just like our gym, like it's not just mine and Caesar's gym, but it's like it's all of our gym. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I always tell everybody whenever we have our ceremonies and stuff. Like, this isn't just mine and Caesar's gym. This is all of our gym and stuff. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't, for y'all and stuff. And we owe everything to everybody that's there. Kids included and stuff. And so yeah, that's a big thing. Like being the family aspect is what truly holds our gym together.
Would you say that you attribute a lot of your early growth to that? Because I mean, you guys have been growing at a pretty progressive clip.
Yeah.
So, what do you attribute? Is it the family aspect? What do you think has helped you guys with that such early growth?
So I would say it's like the family aspect of it. Like, me and Caesar, we're cousins. We're cousins by marriage and stuff. I married his cousin, but before that, like we were, like I said, we started training pretty much at around the same time, at the same gym and stuff. I was moving back and forth from here to Odessa and stuff, but every time I came back, like, it was always like we always picked up where we left off and stuff. And to see him, at the time I think I was still a blue belt, about to get my purple belt, and he was already had his black belt, and I was like, man, like there was a little bit of jealousy there because I was like, man, if I just would have stuck with it like he did, like I would have already had my black belt. So like that kind of like pushed me, and then when I got my purple belt, I spoke to him and told him like, hey, like, I think I want to start competing and stuff. And, he basically like took me in and stuff and started showing me everything about being serious about training and all that and paying attention to stuff. So, and then, we became family and stuff. And it was like we were more family already before we put the name, became family and stuff. So, yeah.
I agree with like what everything said with the family. Our students help us so much. When we were getting the Killer Bee ready, everyone was willing to come and help us out with stuff. The Rocha family helped a lot with putting stuff up and everything like that. And then when we had no mats when we first got the building, but a lot of our students had some extra mats just laying around at the house, so we just kind of laid those out, and we have little puzzle. Put some tape on everything so the mats wouldn't move, and we kind of had like a little open mat on some days and stuff like that. But no, our students really do make our gym. We teach and run it, but at the end of the day, it's you guys that really do build that place up with sharing stuff, with helping, getting people to come in and stuff like that. It's all you guys, and we really do appreciate every single one of y'all so much. Y'all have helped us more than you know, and that's why Killer Bee it has grown so much. It's just great students, not just students, great friends, great family. So
it's great. You guys kind of speak a bit about the family relationship that you guys have. You have a couple of things going that make business very difficult, which is you're working with a partner. Yeah. You've had to work with different kind of investors or people kind of really have some help early in the beginning.
Yes.
And of course just and taking on rapid growth. Like those are three difficult things to grapple with, and you quite literally, I did not mean to make a pun, and those are three things that are really difficult to deal with. But you guys seem to be doing it extremely well. How have you guys been navigating those? Those are three stressors.
Oh yeah.
First thing of all this, I know he may not like this, but we want to really thank Josh Rader for helping us with getting everything started, with helping us open up. And Josh really did help us, and he's still helping us a lot. And so I know he doesn't like being his name put out there when he just wants everyone just to be our thing. But no, Josh helped us so much in the beginning, still helping us, and we are really grateful to him for that. With the other thing, we know where our strengths are at. He's good with talking with people. I'm still getting used to it. I'm very reserved unless I really get to know you. But I love being on the mat and teaching or helping with classes like Tinies and Mighties and stuff like that. And like I said, Emil's really good with getting sign-ups and talking with people and things like that. So.
Yeah, so, when we first, it's kind of a funny thing, when we first went to the small business place for a loan, they automatically shut us down. The guy didn't even listen to us. We told him that we were partners and that we were family, and he was like, "Oh, y'all, it's not going to work." And we were like,
we weren't even in there for a few minutes. We were out there.
Seriously?
Yeah, for real.
It was not to be mean, it was a waste of our time.
Yeah.
We went there for nothing. So.
Yeah. And I call up Josh and I'm like, bro, I don't know if this is the way he was supposed to do this, but this is what he did.
I expected something completely
different. And Josh was like, what? No. And I was like, no, yeah, for sure, bro. That's what he told us. He was like, all right. He was like, well, we'll just go about it, another way. So, but yeah, Josh was a big help, man. He pointed us in the right directions of where we needed to go, what we needed to do, how we needed to do it. Come up with a business plan, come up with our strengths, our weaknesses, which, like Caesar said, we know what our strengths and weaknesses are. I think everybody at the gym knows that too. And, I'm real good with dealing with talking to people, signing them up, doing office work, coaching and everything as well. But Caesar's like the main head coach. His coaching is just it's on point, man. And there's one thing, my coaching comes from him, so just watching him coach, I base my coaching off his style of coaching, and then seeing other people that that are in jiu-jitsu that I look up to and stuff. I watch some of their stuff and how they coach and everything, and that helps me with my coaching. But I think our main thing is just knowing our strengths and us not bumping heads like people thought. A lot of people thought when they knew that we were going in the business together, they were like, it's not gonna work. For one, you're related. For two, our partnerships. Yeah, you're gonna fight over money, and that's one thing about us. Yeah, money is great. We would love to have money, but it's not a big. We're not in this to really to be rich. We're in this for the richness of helping people, making them feel better about themselves, making them get healthy. Helping them get healthy, building confidence in them. Building confidence in their kids so their kids can walk around they're not shy no more, and stuff like that. That's one of our biggest things. And, being able to prove people wrong is one of the better things that's better than money. Yeah. We're coming in January, we'll be opened up a year, and we've grown. We hit I set a an expectation for us of reaching so many people at a certain time, and we surpassed that by, pretty quick and stuff. And, I added on to that, every month I have a goal of reaching, so many signups, and, we crush it. Like, we crush it to where we can go the next 3 or 4 months without signups and we'll be okay and stuff. Do we want that? No. Of course, we want more people to come in and stuff so they can see what jiu-jitsu is all about and everything, and see what Killer Bee is about. But, if it comes to that, like, we'll be fine and everything. And, one thing, we got to thank God for that. And, we thank each other for that too. Like, I tell Caesar every day, man, like, it just comes over me like, man, I couldn't think of a better person to go into business with. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's, I don't see us going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah.
So
I think one thing to kind of definitely make sure we're underlining is just that how much probably humility that you guys have learned through your practice, and you're bringing that into your business.
Right.
And that's usually the problem when you deal
Yeah.
with a partnership or you deal with people kind of in business. It's just like, you can really develop an ego, especially as you build success pretty quickly. You get kind of in your heads about things like that. And it can really make navigating a lot of those difficulties a lot harder. You have a lot more of that jockeying for more money. You have a lot more where you're trying to, hey, I'm the business, I'm the face of this, I'm the one who's really doing the work, X, Y, or Z. And I think that y'all's practice and just the way that you guys have worked together for so long has allowed you to kind of have that humility that you need to be extremely successful for that long term. And I think you guys definitely have that. The other part is having people around to help you.
Yeah.
And appreciating
For
them.
sure.
I mean, if anyone is trying to go into business and they don't have a network, they don't have, I mean, that was part of the reason why I'm doing this. Was, I mean, everything about going into business seemed wildly inaccessible.
Yeah.
So that like you get to that first like stumbling stone if someone doesn't help out or like, goes through or has doubt and you're like, I should probably have a lot more doubt. This is probably not going to work out. I should probably go ahead and go pick up a shift somewhere. But when you have that network around you that they're able to kind of point you in the right direction, it's like, oh no, there's about 1,000 different ways to do this.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's just work for the next one.
Yeah.
And I think that you guys have been really fortunate in that aspect to have those people around you. So
that's
awesome.
For sure.
Not to fluff his pillows, but but I mean, it really is extremely impressive that you guys be able to do that. What was kind of what was the driver? Hey, this is the time to start a business. Hey, this is, like, were you trying to, what needle were you trying to thread with? This is the right time for us. How do we do this the best way?
Yeah. So it just came at a point to where we were, the spot before where we were at, we loved it there. We loved the people there. But it just came a time to where we were like, we think we should just go out on our own and do our own thing. I had a gym before, and I had to close it down because my grandmother got sick with dementia and stuff.
Wow.
And but it was doing good. I was open for 3 months. It was doing good, and everything. And my grandmother got sick. I had to close it down because I had to take care of her. And she ended up passing away. And I started training again and stuff like that. And we talked about it, and Caesar made, he was like, hey, I think I want to go ahead and open up our own spot. And I was like, let's go, man. Like, I'll put in the talks to some people and stuff and see what we got to do and see how we got to go about it and stuff. But, if that's something that you want to do, let's do it, bro. Like, I'm always going to have Caesar's back, and I know he's always going to have mine and stuff. So, who better than to go into business than with your family and stuff. So, there was no question there.
So being talked into by this guy a lot, him and then Josh as well, because I would go to Firehouse and he'd be like, nice to have your own spot, wouldn't it? I'd be like, I guess. I'm a very
subtle.
Yeah, I'm a very loyal person, so it was hard for me. Because I have always been told by many people, like, hey, when are you going to open up your own spot? When are you going to... And And I'm just very like, I have a spot right now. I don't need to open up anything. I'm fine. I'm comfortable. But, you know, being told by family, friends, everybody, like my girlfriend and everything, like, why don't you open up your own spot? Why don't you do it? And truthfully, like, I was scared. I've never done anything like that. I'm very like, if I'm comfortable and everything is fine, then it's good. I don't need to rock the waters in any way. I'm good where I'm at. And then when I finally told him, yeah, let's do it. Let's open up the spot. There was a couple of days I was like, man, maybe I should tell him. Maybe we shouldn't. Like, I'm good. But, having that, kind of vote of confidence from everybody that, you'll be fine. Especially, like I said, with having like Emilio and Josh right there by me, and me knowing like, okay, it's just not going to be me by myself doing it. I have two other people that have at least done it before, owned one, or is running businesses and stuff like that. So that helped a lot too, because I'm not going to lie, I was very like, oh man, this is going to be different. This is, so that helped a lot on that.
So are you glad he got dragged into?
I am glad. At the end of it, I am glad. I am glad. And again,
if it doesn't work out though,
it doesn't work out.
Like
then
1 month, then you're like, I told you.
Yeah, I'd be like, I was right.
Safe. I was happy.
Guys. Yeah.
Did it hurt when you had to like let go of that and be like, oh, I guess this is working out. I don't get to. I don't get to let the crazy voice in my head know that they were right. Daggum.
Yeah, because there were some like when we first opened up, like a few of those months, there was like no money. Yeah. I didn't have anything saved or anything like that. So it was kind of hard, but again, once we started getting people coming in the door and everything like that, I was like, okay, I kind of got a little bit more comfortable. But now I'm just like, sky's the limit on growing.
Yeah.
Everything, getting more people in, stuff like that. So
awesome. Are you surprised at any of the growth of any of your specific classes? You guys obviously teach a lot of different varieties. You have like judo on the weekends. You have wrestling. You have kids classes. You have women's classes.
Right.
Which ones maybe surprised you on its growth, or which one were you expecting to be huge? And you're like, why are there 4 people here?
Truthfully, the women's.
Yeah.
The women's class. I really did not expect us to have like as many women doing it at our spot as we do.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, I'm happy for that. I have like 2 nieces, and one of my nieces does do the Mighty Bees.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And, but yeah, like on some days, the women will outnumber the men. I'll have a room like 8 women and like 3 or 4 guys.
Yeah.
Like
really?
it is outstanding, and which is awesome too. I love that, I feel that most like women should learn like this. This is a great self-defense, for them. But yeah, the women's class has really surprised me, and Coach Sam has done a great job promoting it, getting ladies to come in. She has a job working at one of the colleges as a dance coach, so she takes time out of her day to come and teach them, and we're like grateful for her for doing that. And I'm sure all the women are grateful for her as well.
Yeah, like one of our Tiny Bees and our kids classes, because it was going for a few months where we only had like 4 or 5 kids like in our Mighty Bees, and it was mainly family.
Yeah.
Like my son, my nephew, my niece,
a lot of
my
really
cousin.
good paying customers.
A lot of really good paying customers. And and then like it was like just in the blink of an eye, like we were sitting there and we're like, where did all these kids come from? Like, it's our Tiny Bees class grew from, I want to say like 6 kids to like almost 26 to 28 kids a class. Like they take up the whole mats, and it's absolutely love seeing that. And then those kids, they listen so good, man. And we start taking them in at 3 years old, and it's pretty crazy. Like I have a lot of kids of my own, And just to see like the way those tiny kids can pay attention and pick up stuff, it's good. It's like really good to see. And then our Mighty Bees, they the heart that they show, like just training every other day, and coming in telling us about their day, and that they're really happy to be there, that them knowing they're coming to jiu-jitsu that day makes them happy and stuff. Like that's something that makes us happy and everything. But yeah, I think it was our kids class for me that like it just grew like a weed.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that growth, and it was like, how many people are in this room right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it looked like it happened over the course of a week.
Yeah.
I mean, like it was kind of like, oh yeah, well, there's 4 or 5 kids this week, and
Yeah.
I mean, I swear it was literally like a week or 2 later. I was like, I need to get there early to fight for a spot.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit on the floor again.
Yeah.
Was that kind of the isthmus for why you guys wanted to scale up to a new spot?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So, the reason why we're getting a bigger spot is because the growth of the kids class, the growth of the adult class, and also all the other courses that we have. All the other classes that we have. Like you mentioned earlier, we have judo on Saturdays. Where now, we have one judo coach, or we had one judo coach. Now we have 2 judo coaches.
Good.
And stuff. So we're able to do more than one judo class a day. The wrestling class, we teach that on Wednesdays and Fridays. And, with college, or with the wrestling being in season right now, Coach Brown is, busy there at McMurray, with his students and stuff. But, we have another wrestling coach that just came down that's in the military and stuff. And he's here, and he found us. Thank God he found us, and he's going to be our other wrestling coach. So now we have 2 wrestling coaches.
Wow.
And stuff. So we'll be able to start a wrestling program for the kids and for the adults. We just became under USA Wrestling. So now Killer Bees is under USA Wrestling. So now we'll be going to wrestling competitions as well. We have our striking program and stuff like that. We're going to be throwing in a self-defense, street self-defense class, that we're going to be throwing. So the new spot that we're going to have, we're going to be doing at least 2 to 3 classes pretty much at the same time.
Wow.
So, since we have so many coaches now and stuff, and everybody's just putting in and helping out, it's really a big help to where we can make that happen and stuff for the city of Abilene and surrounding areas.
Yeah. Kind of compared to other markets that you've been in, how does kind of martial arts in Abilene kind of compare to just different areas? Do we have more offerings? Do we have less? Do you see that changing?
I kind of think I would say we probably have. Yeah, we have less.
Really?
Yeah, I would say we have less. But with our gym, we're the only gym in town that offers judo, wrestling, and all that stuff. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be the only ones here in town that's ever going to offer that and everything. So we're going to be kind of like your one-stop shop.
Wow.
We're also going to be offering Krav Maga here pretty soon.
Really?
So
that's cool.
So just making connections with people and stuff that that I've been introduced to and everything. Being a business owner and stuff like that it's really helped out a lot and stuff. And Josh is telling me like, hey, you need to take that leap of talking to people and stuff, because it will help and everything. And I mean, he's right, it's helped and stuff. So
awesome.
It's been pretty good and stuff. But yeah, I think we have less and stuff.
Yeah, like he said, I think it's more because it's still growing here. Mm-hmm. You go to Dallas, there's a gym right around the corner, and they also cross train a lot out there too. Like you can go from if you sign up at one spot, you can go to like 3 or 4 other different spots. Yeah, out there it's a lot different. Here, everyone's really Not too much into that.
Yeah.
We've tried it, and we've gone to like one other gym to do like little open mat stuff like that. Here though, is still a lot of ego with a lot of the gyms, and so cross training, like we've had people come from other spots, but it's kind of more, hey, if y'all record or do anything, just keep it on the down low. Don't look for this.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy because I'm like, it's Abilene, like it's not that big. So, but I think that also too is why I think like the progress of like growing everything here is so slow because everyone has such an ego with everything.
Yeah.
We don't mind if anyone comes across trains. We welcome it if you want to come. Doors are always open to you.
And we welcome our students to go cross train too.
Yeah.
Like if they feel like they have to go somewhere else because to cross train, if they feel like they have to go somewhere else to cross train just because they feel like they're stagnant where they're at, rolling with the same people at our gym, we'll tell them like, go, like whatever's gonna make you better, like we're all for it and stuff. That's one of the main reasons why like we're not big into like the whole contract thing when we sign people up because we want people to be happy. We want people to stay because they want to stay and because they trust in us, not because they're locked in on paper. Yeah. So, we want them to stay and learn and stuff because they trust us with their improvement and they know that they're going to get the best training ever, But if something never happens to where they feel like, hey, I want to go cross train over here, we're like, go for it, man. Like, just no hard feelings. Go try it out. Hopefully it works for you. If it doesn't, you're always more than welcome to come back and stuff. So
I imagine you're not losing a lot of people.
No. When we've told people that, they're like, we're happy here.
Like, we're good.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, I was trying to get rid of you.
Yeah.
Yikes. Okay.
Yeah. So, we haven't had anybody, want to do that or anything like that, or even asked us and stuff. So, that's one thing that gives us, it's a confidence booster for us that we know, hey, we're doing something right. We're being ourselves and stuff. We don't have that ego of like, we're the best here in town and stuff. We're one of the best here in Abilene and stuff, and we're cool with that. We're fine with that. Being one of the best here in town that's okay with us. Like we're good.
So you brought in guest professors before, people to kind of come in, do open mats, do kind of lessons. Are you going to be doing more of that in the new space as well?
Yes.
Are those open to the public? Those kinds of things.
Yeah. So we will be bringing in more people in, more high level black belts that train and that compete and stuff like that. We'll be bringing them in, and of course, it's always open to anybody else outside of our gym. There'll be a little fee that they'll have to pay that goes straight to that professor. It doesn't go to the gym or to me and Caesar. It goes straight to them, and that's just for them, for them giving us their time and energy and stuff and coming down. But yeah, at the new spot, we'll be having a lot more seminars and stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be real exciting.
Any other new things you're going to be able to do in the new spot, or things coming up for you?
So, new spot that we got, man. We're kind of doing it here at the spot where we're at now, but at the new spot is going to be 10 times better. We do have saunas here now. We have the cold plunges. We have a massage therapist and stuff like that. When we get to the bigger spot, there's going to be an actual spot for, like, we have a spot
like
for those things,
room
but there's going to be a recovery room. The sauna is going to be 450 feet.
Wow.
It's going to be a 450 foot sauna.
Seriously?
Square foot sauna. Yep.
Wow.
That sauna is going to be a 450 square foot sauna.
Okay.
The cold plunges, we'll have 3 cold plunges. Massage therapy, she'll have her own spot and stuff, and she'll be giving a discount to everybody that is a member there, and and all that. So yeah, it's gonna be, like I said, we're trying to be the one spot, that that you can do anything and everything there. You can train as hard as you want and then recover. You don't have to go somewhere else than pay to get recovered.
That's awesome.
So
And showers.
yeah, showers. We're gonna have showers.
Yeah.
That's one of the main things.
That's a big thing.
Yeah,
for the
that's
middle
a
of
big
the
thing
day
for
class.
a lot of people.
For the middle of the day
Yeah,
class,
yeah,
the
for
noon
our
time
lunch
is like that
classes,
sounds great, but
yeah.
my afternoon, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be drenched.
Even
Yeah.
for our airmen, like
Yeah.
first in the morning, they don't like they got to drive all the way home and then go straight to the gate.
Yeah.
And the line is long, so they can just take a shower there and just go straight there. They can probably get a little
Yeah.
bit earlier. So, but no, you do want to have showers.
Yeah.
So that way it can
Yeah.
help out with the lunch, the
Yeah.
morning,
Yeah.
all that. So.
And you guys do have a pretty strong relationship with the military.
Oh yeah,
Here in
yeah,
town.
yeah. We have a really good, strong relationship with Dias. We go out there every Wednesday at 11:30 to go. We teach a free class out there for the airmen, and for them and their families. We also give them, all first responders and military. They get a discount with us, but if you're active in the military, you get another discount. Plus, there's no contract.
Nice.
Our contract's are only 6 months.
Yeah.
Which really isn't nothing. But if you're an airman, you're in the military and stuff, there's no contract.
Wow, that's awesome.
So
Good for you. How can people reach you?
so they can reach us on Facebook at Killer Bee Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Academy. You can also reach us through our phone numbers, which is mine is 325-349-4013.
Mine's 349-4006. And then also on Instagram,
Oh yeah,
Killer
that's a good
Bee.
reach.
You can always come by the gym. We're on 3648 North 6th Street, right across from the Communities of Abilene Bank. We're there mostly all day, so
Yeah.
if you're kind of scared to come in during class hours, you can always come in
During the day.
and talk with us.
Yeah.
We'll be happy to show you around, show you the classes,
So our class schedule.
And where is the new space going to be? The new location?
New location. I don't really have the address. I have so many numbers floating in my head right now, but it'll be the old Mrs. Baird's building
Oh, really?
off of Treadway. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I thought it was.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's a huge space.
Yeah, it's pretty huge.
Does it still smell like bread in there? Like,
No.
Okay.
No.
right now. It smells
Oh.
like sweat.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Can that be part of the recovery room? There's there's also the fresh baked bread here. There's a tile supply company. They kept some of the old bowling lanes that were in that
Oh,
building.
yeah?
I'm just saying.
Oh, that's cool,
it wouldn't
man.
be unheard of to keep a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for doing this. Appreciate
Hey,
it.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, definitely.